Carly, you have been my partner long before we were engaged. We laughed together, we cried together, we've lived life together. Our relationship has started the best years of my life. And every year after, I have felt more joy thanks to you and your intoxicating love. As you have listened to me when I needed it most, I promise to listen to you. As you supported me through miserable moments, I promise to support you. As you have loved me in so many beautiful, amazing ways, I promise to always love you. Even if our lives become dark and we are in painful conflict, I vow to remember the promises I made today in front of our families, in front of our God, in front of you. I promise to be everything I can be for you. I love you, Carly.
So amazing that after 5.5 years of dating, I still have a strong passion for you. I know that I could barely make a week without you. Even at 15, I knew that there was just no friend like you. I made many diary entries when we were dating in high school, and I told you that you could not have them until we were married. Before you read all of those, I would like to read one of my favorite entries. Josh and I had just gotten back together, and I asked him to take me anywhere as a surprise. He started driving through Carmel, so I got out a piece of paper to write down a guess as to where he would take me. Taco Bell was my first guess, and I didn't even get the chance to write it down when Josh looked me dead in the eyes and said, "It's not Taco Bell, Carly." Then I saw my neighborhood and in disappointment said, "What? You took me back to my house?" He said, "No, I promise I didn't." And then he swerved quickly into the place where we used to sit underneath this tree, where we first started dating, and then we sat together. And I found that he had some songs and poems written on his phone. I eventually came across this specific poem that he wrote about love. It was so cold, so we sat underneath the tree in the dirt, and he held me, and I read this. Is love not the best and worst thing? Can it cause not the most extremes of emotions? It's simple, yet so vastly complex that God himself hides within it. From love, one is human, yet from excess, one is an animal. Is there not any experience so valued and sought after, yet so hated simultaneously? It drives one to death and the possibility of life. It can appear to change someone, but rather it shows one's true self. I cannot begin to describe the mysteries it entails or the feelings that it induces. All that I can say is, when one knows they are in love, not a greater fact exists in their mind. There are so many moments like this that we've shared together, and you have been my constant companion. I cannot wait to experience all the new adventures with you. Lastly, I would like to give you something later that many do not believe is valuable, but to me it is precious. My dad gave me this security ring that was a reminder to me to follow God's way in my life. And later, I would like to give it to you along with a box full of the letters I promised to give you if we got married. I love you, and after looking at how things have been, I can't imagine what the future holds.
Never really knew how having a little girl would change my entire world. We had plastic dolls and kitchen sets and little pink Barbie vets and pools that killed the lawn. She loved to play house with that big brown dog. She'd take him on walks and sing him songs. Up and down the beach she'd go, picking up shells, catching little fish and putting them in pails. I told her silly jokes and I made her funny songs, and she laughed along. We loved to sit around and watch TV with nothing to do and nowhere to be. She'd tell me stories about her day and we'd dream away. came along. He had tousled hair and he liked her songs. Eventually they went on a date. Came back to my house and they stayed up late. He told her silly jokes and he made her funny songs, and she laughed along. They loved to sit around and watch TV with nothing to do and nowhere to be. She'd tell him stories about her day and they dreamed away. That tussle-haired boy came over regularly, but he wasn't coming so he could see me. And then one day he got up the nerve and he asked if he could marry my girl. Well, he had won our hearts and our little girls too, and that's why we're here today. He told her silly jokes and he made her funny songs, and she laughed along. They loved to sit around and watch TV with nothing to do and nowhere to be. She'd tell him stories about her day and they dreamed away. Love you guys.